They say the church is a hospital for the broken. But sometimes, it's the place kung saan mo makukuha ang pinakamalalim na sugat. Nakakapagtaka, di ba? We raise our hands every Sunday, crying for grace. Pero paglapas ng pinto, tayo rin ang unang humahawak ng bato to throw at others. We preach about a God of love, pero ang pinapairal natin ay relihiyon ng checklists. If you don't tick their holy boxes, itinuturing ka nilang ligaw na kaluluwa. And the worst part, gagamitin pa nila ang pangalan ng Diyos to justify their cruelty. Welcome to Silip sa Buhay Pinoy. Mga kwentong tahimik pero totoo. Ito ang kwento ni Grace. She's a 25-year-old corporate worker and a classic PK, pastor's kid. Her life was a series of rehearsals, choir practice, youth leadership, at walang sawang Sunday services. Her mother, Vicky, was the pillar of their local parish. Sa labas, Vicky was the personification of a blessed life. Ang bahay nila ay puno ng framed Bible verses at mga certificates of recognition. Everything looked perfect on the surface, pero sa loob ng bahay, every word felt like a performance for an invisible audience. There was this one object na nagsilbing simbolo ng lahat ng pressure, ang white lace veil ni Grace. It was an heirloom, passed down from her grandmother, symbolizing purity and devotion. Pero para kay Grace, it felt more like a leash than a crown. Every time she wore it, nararamdaman niya ang bigat ng pagiging model daughter. It wasn't about her heart anymore. It was about protecting her mother's reputation sa mata ng komunidad. Nangyari ito during the height of the post-pandemic adjustment. Everyone was tired, burned out, at naghahanap ng tunay na comfort. The world was changing, but inside Grace's home, ang mga rules ay nananatiling rigid at walang adjustment. Habang ang ibang tao ay seryosong pinag-uusapan ang mental health, ang tanging sagot ni Vicky ay, "Kulang ka lang sa dasal." The tension finally broke during a Sunday lunch. Grace's cousin Maya had stopped attending service matapos ang isang masakit na breakup. Instead of offering a hug, Vicky offered a lecture na punong-puno ng paghatol. Sabi niya, "Kaya ka iniwan, Maya, kasi hindi ka nagpe-pray. You're being punished for your worldliness." Grace felt a sharp sting in her chest, realizing how cold religion can be.
Ma, baka naman nasasaktan lang talaga si Maya. Hindi naman lahat ng lungkot kasalanan agad.
Grace, huwag kang sumasabat. Masyado ka pang bata para intindihin kung paano kumikilos ang espiritu.
The atmosphere at home became suffocating. Lahat ng kilos ni Grace ay binabantayan at binibigyan ng mali siya. If she slept in on a Saturday, she was being slothful. If she bought a new dress, she was being vain. It wasn't just guidance. It was a slow burn gaslighting technique. Ipinaramdam nila sa kanya na ang pagiging tao ay isang malaking flaw na kailangang hinga ng tawad araw-araw. The explosion happened nang mahuli ni Vicky si Grace na nakikipag-usap sa isang kaibigan who had already left the church. Vicky called it spiritual contamination. Sabi niya,
"Bakit ka pa nakikipag-usap sa kanya? People are starting to talk, Grace. Isipin mo naman ang posisyon natin sa simbahan."
Grace finally snapped. The years of acting holy came crashing down in an instant.
Posisyon? Ma, yun lang ba ang mahalaga? Yung sasabihin ng ibang tao? We talk about grace every Sunday, pero bakit parang wala nun dito sa bahay?
Ang sagot ni Vicky ay hindi sorry, kundi ang classic weaponization of faith. She started crying, not out of empathy, but to make Grace feel like the villain of the story.
After all I did for you, pinalaki kitang may takot sa Diyos, tapos ganyan ka? You're weak, Grace. Hinahayaan mong manalo ang kaaway.
That was the moment Grace realized that for some, religion is just a tool for emotional control. Isang nakakabinging katahimikan ang bumalot sa bahay nila. Wala nang morning prayers together. Puro tunay na kalansing lang ng kobyertos ang naririnig tuwing hapunan. Grace felt completely isolated inside her own home. Naintindihan na niya kung bakit maraming tao ang lumalayo sa Diyos. If being holy meant being cruel to your own family, ayaw na niyang maging bahagi nito. Grace spent her nights at a nearby park, just trying to breathe. Doon niya na-realize na ang Diyos na kilala niya ay malayo sa Diyos na ginagamit ng nanay niya bilang sandata. She remembered the story of Jesus and the woman caught in adultery. No stones were thrown that day. Bakit sa kamay ng nanay niya, napakabigat na mga batong laging handang ipukol? One night, she ran into an old mentor na matagal nang umalis sa church. He didn't preach to her. He just listened to her pain. Sabi niya,
Grace, faith is a relationship. Hindi ito isang membership card. You can love God and still be hurt by His people.
For the first time in years, Grace felt seen without the need to be perfect. Pag-uwi niya, she found her mother sitting in the dark. Hawak-hawak ang white lace veil. Vicky looked so small and fragile. For the first time, hindi giant of the faith ang nakita ni Grace. She saw a scared woman who used rules to protect herself from a world she couldn't control. Naintindihan niya na ang pagiging self-righteous ng nanay niya ay galing din sa sarili nitong takot. Grace didn't start another argument. Hindi na rin siya nag-demand ng apology na alam niyang hindi naman darating. She simply sat beside her mother and held her hand. They didn't talk about verses or labels. Hinayaan na lang nilang lumipas ang oras sa katahimikan. It wasn't a perfect resolution, pero it was a start of a different kind of relationship, one that didn't rely on being holy.
Ma, pagod na po ako makipag-away. Let's just be mom and daughter right now. Huwag muna nating isipin ang simbahan.
Grace chose to stay in her faith, pero sa sarili na niyang paraan. She learned that being a Christian isn't about the medals or the holy checklists we show to the world. It's about being a safe space for those who are struggling. She stopped trying to be a saint at sinubukan na lang niyang magiging totoong tao. Because at the end of the day, yun naman ang kailangan nating lahat. Unconditional love, not unconditional judgment. Sometimes, our parents use religion as a shield because they were also raised in a culture of fear and shame. Understanding their trauma doesn't excuse their behavior, pero nakakatulong ito para hindi natin masyadong dibdibin ang kanilang mga husga. You can still honor your parents by being a person of integrity. Kahit hindi mo sinusunod ang specific religious script na gusto nila para sa'yo. At the end of the day, ang goal natin ay hindi ang manalo sa argument. It's to maintain your peace and your capacity to love. Kung ang environment mo ay talagang toxic na, it's okay to step back. God is big enough to handle your distance and your questions. Tandaan natin, a faith that doesn't produce kindness is just noise. Let's choose to be the grace na sana ay natanggap din natin mula sa iba. Nakaka-relate ba kayo sa ganitong klaseng pamilya? I-share nyo naman sa comments yung own stories ninyo. Nakakatulong din mabasa at marinig ang experiences ng iba. Sana may nakuha kayong kahit konting insight o reflection mula sa videong ito. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig at kung nagustuhan nyo ang content, please huwag nyo kalimutang mag-subscribe. Hanggang sa susunod na kwento.